it shows you that I'm not like any better than anyone else. I went into the dumbest branch in, out there, which is the Marine Corps. Of course, I had a higher IQ compared to most other Marines, but hey, I'm not special in any means. The only thing that I think I did good is that I never gave up. There are so many times when I could have just thrown in the towel and been like, screw this. I'm done. I'm tired of getting, my dreams crushed because things aren't working out the way I thought they were going to work out. Hey, so welcome to the first episode of the Revival Couple podcast. So the whole vision behind this podcast is to take you on a journey of revival in my life and the life of others, and hope that your life will be revived in the process. So with that, today we will be talking about who I am and why revival matters. But real quick, we are going to take a moment to thank our sponsor. This podcast episode is sponsored by Ace Local Leads. Visit CoachTobias.com. That is CoachTobias.com, and get your free blueprint guide on how to start a real digital business you 100% control, land real clients, and earn real recurring revenue. Once you visit CoachTobias.com, you'll get a free guide for 2020 on how to get paid to solve the biggest problem most small businesses have. Download your free guide now and discover 1. A reliable step-by-step method to find and service high-paying clients that will pay $2,500 to $5,000 every month to get the leads their businesses need from you. 2. The secret strategy we use that most agencies don't even consider, and it ends up being their number one fatal flaw. And 3, which is bonus content. No experience? No problem. We'll send you video tips and a real person will answer your questions. Don't waste any more time. Get this free guide now. Visit CoachTobias.com. That is CoachTobias.com now. All right, and we are back. So I just want to say hi, guys. My name is Tobias Johnson. I am 25 years old, born and raised in Portland, Oregon. And so I'm just going to go into my origin story, kind of tell you about why revival matters and why I think it is very crucial and very important to my life, but also why it may be important to your life as well. And so with me, I've always been taken care of in my life. Of course, we all have our own situations. We all have our own struggles that we have to deal with. And, mine, there were multiple different things that I had to deal with, which was living a life that was like middle class, and there was never anything super expensive, I guess, that I had in my life, but there was nothing that was baseline poverty. But we were just like right in the middle, where there was always a bunch of debt, but there was never an excess of stuff, that we could buy because we were just scraping by. And so, yeah, I've always been taken care of, but just never had an excess of stuff. When I started living on my own, it was when I was 16. Well, I wasn't living on my own. I was living with a friend's family. And the reason why is because I needed to graduate high school. And so since that happened, it really put me in a situation where it was like either I can stay at the school that I'm going to and potentially not graduate on time, or I can move into a friend or with a friend and their family and honestly be able to excel in my life and be able to get that high school diploma and move on. So with that, in my family, there was, multiple different things growing up. Drugs were a thing that my dad dealt with, and alcohol between my dad and mom, and then my brother, drugs and alcohol and all that. And he went to rehab multiple different times. And about 3 years ago, he passed away. Unfortunately, he was shot and killed by the cops, and so that was very devastating. And it played a big role into my life, and actually allowed me to realize that life is not guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, and so you have to live life in the present and understand that not only do you not know when your last day is, but you want to be able to take advantage and understand that now and living in the moment is very important. So when I started living on my own, I was doing an internship program through my church, and so what that meant was I was doing a lot of free work for them and helping out with the youth group, helping out with, setting up for the church service on Sundays, and also going to a Bible college. And so I did that, and that was going well. I started working at a pet store, and I actually worked 3 jobs in 2 years. And so I started working at a pet store, and then I started working at a bank as a teller, and then from there I progressed on to work full time. Both of those jobs were part-time. I'd work at the pet store and the as a bank teller part-time and have to work both of them. And since that happened, I had to take care of myself. That's when I stopped doing the internship, stopped going to a Bible college and doing all that. I had to take care of me. And so life was challenging, but I was able to make it work. I moved in with a roommate. We lived together for a while, and then I moved out on my own. And pretty much all my income was going towards surviving, in a sense. I had a couple hundred extra that was like to be able to eat food and pay for gas. And so it was, I just never really had a lot of stuff, and so that's what I was striving for. That was something that I really wanted to grab a hold of and actually have more of that in my life. But I never was really a good employee, to say the least. So as we grow up, and we go to school, we do these things in life, like we are pretty much told how to be a good employee, whether that's going to school. Like when you go to school, you are required to show up on time. You're required to complete your work on time. Like be super respectful. You have to do certain things. And for me, it was always an issue showing up on time or, going into something as if like I'm going to kiss someone's butt or be like a brown noser, you know what I mean? And when I would show up to work, I would provide, I'd do the best of my abilities, and I'd really have high quality work, but I was never good at like the employee side of things. I was always trying to do more, and I knew there was a greater purpose, there was a greater, goal in my life, and that I wanted to leave like a legacy, and so that was something I was striving for, but I was just never a good employee. Of course, I transitioned between 3 jobs in the course of 2 years, and some of them were like, it was either, I was going to leave that job or eventually I was probably going to get let go due to, not being on time as much. And so I always knew that I just needed more in life. And so I felt like I was meant to do something more and that I needed to take control of my life, right? I wanted to leave a legacy that not only myself, but my family could be proud of. And so that was something I was just striving for. And I knew working these jobs, there was always going to be some type of cap. There was going to be some type of limit to what I could do. And the potential, of progressing or doing something to the level that I actually wanted to go was not really that possible if I stayed in a traditional job. And so enough was enough, and I didn't see any more like progression moving from job to job. Of course, I was getting like a pay increase each job I was transitioning from, but I needed something more in my life, right? I needed something more in my life to turn it around, and something that served a bigger purpose. And so that's what I was striving for. That's what I was looking for. And this is why, I ended up enlisting into the military and the most elite fighting force out there, the United States Marine Corps. And I enjoyed being part of something greater than myself. I enjoyed, being in some type of brotherhood that was more than just, hey, I work with this person. They're my coworkers. I'm just around them because I have to be around them. And so I was finally able to serve a bigger purpose. But this came with big sacrifice. Literally, my wife and I, we had a long distance relationship thing going on. She lived in Oregon. I lived in Florida due to my duty station that I was, required to be at, since I am, active in the military as a enlisted Marine. And so that moved me to Florida. But I still had a relationship going on. We eventually got married. And she moved down from Portland, Oregon, down to Tampa, Florida. And so that was amazing because I was finally able to get the girl of my dreams, to marry me and move down to Florida. And then immediately after, it's like, hey, so we're so glad you're back. You're going to start traveling half of every month. And so that was something that was very hard for me because literally it felt like our lives were being pulled apart. We just got married. We're trying to figure out how things work out together, but now I'm gone every single month for weeks on end, 2 to 3 weeks at a time. I'd come back. I'd say, hey, how's it going? And then 2 to 3 days, maybe 7 days if I'm lucky, I would leave out again. And I would just keep doing it, right? We don't know how to live together. We don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to, really start our lives with one another, since we've always been doing it apart and doing it away from each other. And so that was challenging, and it was something that really caused a lot of stress and struggle. And it really had a lot of hardship on the family. Firsthand, I experienced that, of course, because I was gone. And I began to reconsider if this was the bigger purpose I was called for, right? I was called for something bigger. I was striving for something more, but this really took time and made me consider, like, is this really the bigger purpose that I was looking for? And I honestly don't think it was. And so I realized that the only way I could truly take control of my life and still be there for my family would be to create an online business of some sort. I could see people on YouTube. I could see a lot of people saying that having an online business allows you to literally work from anywhere in the world, and to be able to do something that could make me money even while I'm asleep was really what I was striving for. It was like, no matter what I do, I need to create an asset that is going to work for me even when I'm not actually actively working on it. I didn't want to trade my time for money anymore. I wanted to create something that was going to give me long-term wealth. Now, before I joined the Marine Corps, I did try different businesses, and I never had that much success because I was always scraping by, right? Like when you only have $100 extra, 200 extra bucks to live off of, it's like kind of hard to create something for yourself, create an asset, because it's like you don't even have enough resources to be able to survive, let alone try to build something that is going to allow you to thrive in the future, right? And so I literally tried everything that was out there when I first got started. I went on Google. I was like, online business, like just from one online business to the next, to like trying to get things that I could wrap on my car to make extra money on the side while I was driving my car. And then like there was a lot of things that were not very legit, because what I was looking for was something that was going to make me full-time income, right, online, but no one was really giving me a step-by-step solution on how to do it, right? They were saying, yes, you can make money on the online space. Buy my course. And so I'd buy their course, and then I'd be like, yeah, that's great. They gave me like the beginning steps of how it is possible, but they don't give me like the resources to be able to actually go out there and do it on myself. And so, that's what the issue was that I ran into. So what happened was I spent endless hours and dollars on multiple different things that were never going to give me the time and money I was looking for. Truly, it wasn't. There was nothing that I purchased that was going to give me that. But I took those losses. I took those L's, right? And I didn't give up. Why? Because it would have been so... right? It would have been so easy to just be like, screw this crap, I'm done. Just throw in the towel and just continue to work my job. Do everything that I had to do in, the same way that everyone else does it, and just settle, right? I could have just stuck there and settled and just left it as that and never tried again, right? Most people do this. A lot of people lose hope because they lost, right? But I didn't give up, because it's kind of like dating, in a sense, right? You don't just go on one date and give up. You don't go on 5 dates and then give up after trying that, right? It's not like that. Literally, I realized that there was something out there, but I just hadn't found it yet. I knew that there was something that was going to allow me to work full-time on a business that could provide me a lifestyle that other people, aren't usually able to have, which is, very hard to come by, very hard to find. And it is very difficult, to do. But I knew, right? Just like I knew that, hey, you don't just go on one date and boom, magically you found the person of your dreams. Is something that you got to, not only work on, but you have to date multiple different people until you find the right one that you're meant to marry. And so with that, in the same sense, I wasn't just going to give up on trying one business and saying, oh, this one's a scam. Online businesses don't work. I knew that was BS. I knew other people were doing it. Therefore, there had to be a way that I could do it too, right? There had to be a way that I could be successful in a space that would give me not only the time with my family, but allow me to be able to make what I'm worth, not just capping me out at, what is it, 10, 20, 30 bucks an hour, right? And saying I'm only worth this much. No, now I could do things. I could build something. I could grow something that was going to leave a lasting effect, not only on my life, but my family's life, and allow both me and my wife and my kids to all go out there and pursue the life that we are dreaming of, the life of our dreams, the callings that we feel led to do, the things that we know, are supposed to be in our lives, and not just do what we have to do to provide food on the table, to be able to provide health care, to be able to just make it. There had to be something more. And so luckily I didn't give up, because I like literally, if I would have, I wouldn't have stumbled upon this multi-channel approach to affiliate marketing. Now, what affiliate marketing is, I'm just going to dumb it down. I'm going to make it very, very simple. It is literally just selling other people's product for money. If you go on a YouTube video, go to any YouTube video, and I know a lot of people think that most YouTubers make their money from advertisements on their YouTube video, but that's not true. The most money that is made is from affiliate marketing. What does that mean? That means you are getting paid to promote a product, and once someone buys that product, you get a paycheck, right? They have to buy it first, which makes sense for the business owner, because now they're not out there spending endless amounts of marketing money to try to hope that someone's going to buy the product. Now they're like, hey, if you sell this product, we'll give you 30% commissions. Hey, if you sell this product, we'll give you 15% commissions. Amazon does it all the time. And so with that, I found a multi-channel approach to doing it in multiple different ways that weren't competing against each other. The big thing about business is that, it is challenging. It is very, very challenging to set up multiple sources of income, multiple streams of income without taking your attention away from, the thing you were doing previously. So let's say you're running an e-commerce business, right? And then you try to open up a restaurant. All your time is going to be pulled between either your e-commerce business or your restaurant business, right? But through affiliate marketing, what you are doing is you're literally providing advertisements for different products online. You can do it through social media. You can do it in Google. You can do it, through Google AdWords. You can do it through YouTube. You can do it through multiple different channels. And once someone buys your stuff, then you make a commission. Now, what that means is now you can put up ads not only for, let's say you're promoting something on Amazon. Not only could you promote something there, but you could also promote something else on eBay through ads on Facebook or on Instagram or on, YouTube, whatever it may be. You can make ads that aren't going to compete with each other. It's not going to take all your time away. And you're making multiple streams of income. Now, the issue with affiliate marketing sometimes is that you have to sell thousands and thousands of items to make a good amount of income to not have to work a full-time job. But what I got, involved with, like the company I got involved with, which is pretty much just a training platform that has taught me how to do everything step by step in an easy to understand way. Literally, I did not know anything when I got started. They taught me step by step how to do everything. And so that was amazing. That was cool. But it literally, allows me to do what most people can't do when they get started on a business, which is, especially in the online space, which is take action. I got these step-by-step instructions and it was like, hey, do this. And then I would actually go and I would do it. I wouldn't have to sit around and just consume all this information and do nothing with it and wonder why I don't have a business growing or I'm not receiving profits from, a business. And so with all that being said, affiliate marketing through the company I went through, they offered high ticket commissions, which is pretty much just higher products that are being sold, which means instead of making just $15 per sale, now you can make upwards, low ball, you can make $300 all the way up to $3,000 promoting something, which is absolutely amazing because now if I think about it, I only need to sell 2 items per month to make enough money to live off of. And even if I went as high as $10 or 10 items per month at $300, that's a lot of money. So with that being said, that's going to be $3,000 per month just on 10 items. But if I had high ball of $3,000 per item, it could be a high ball of $30,000. Now, of course, all of this takes work. All of this is not going to be easy. This is very challenging, but it sparked a light and it showed me that even though I've lost so many times, that there is a way I can actually succeed in the online space. And so that's what excited me. That's what really inspired me to keep going forward. And so since I did, I am literally in an amazing community where I have multiple different streams of income set up from an automated e-commerce store that someone else runs. I pay them to run it so I don't have to divert all my attention or barely any, really. I don't do much. I pay them 30% of what I make of the profits each month. And so, it allows me to create something in the background and then have still all these different affiliate streams of income that could come in. The best part is it's not one of those things that you have to go harass local family and friends. So that was just amazing. But I think the biggest accomplishments and the biggest achievements that I have gotten was that I was able to get out of a employee mindset, and I was able to move out of a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment and move into a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom home with a 15,000 gallon pool built in the backyard with a, fully enclosed, screened in lanai or whatever they call it. But that was just amazing because I would have never thought I could do something like that until my mindset changed, until my mindset flipped, because it's cheaper to live. Well, they're almost the same price, but there's like a $200-$300 difference between an apartment and between a house. But of course, with the house, you have different costs that come up. You have different breaks and issues that you have to deal with if you have it. Now, the luxury I had was being in the military. I could get a VA loan. Being in the military, I could, leverage the money that was coming in and put it into something that could create wealth over time. And so since I got out of the employee mindset of thinking, hey, I'm just going to trade time for money, I was like, I'm going to, invest into my life, into my future. And we bought a house, which is really, really cool because at 25, 23, when we bought the house, it was something that I never really was thinking about doing anytime soon. And so we got out of that. And the next thing that's coming up is that I will be leaving the military in a couple months, and from there, my life will be going to school, and I'll be a full-time entrepreneur, which is cool because now I don't have to have all these callings, all these visions, all these goals in my life, and just hope that they're going to happen someday. Now I'm actually able to do them. Why? Because I'm able to create something on the side that is allowing me to pursue the callings I have on my life, which I think everyone who has a calling on their life, they should be able to do it. The problem is a lot of us, we get caught up in different things, whether that's hospital bills, whether that's surviving, whether that's not being able to create something on the side, whether that's being scared of taking risks, right? All those things can limit us and just keep us in this safety bubble of our comfort zone. Until you step out of that comfort zone, until you actually decide that, hey, I am going to take a chance. I'm going to step out. I'm going to do something different. Why? Because I absolutely need this in my life. I cannot keep doing what I'm doing, forever. And so with that, I get to follow my dreams and go to school for audio engineering, which is going to be really awesome. And I'm super excited for it. But, creating multiple streams of income allows not only me, but our family to be able to do that. And so that is really, really cool. And it blows my mind that it is even something possible for me, because I am not qualified to do this. I am not smart by any means. I'm not, I've been to a couple of college courses, and I've dropped out of 2 colleges. And so, that it shows you that I'm not like any better than anyone else. I went into the dumbest branch out there, which is the Marine Corps. Of course, I had a higher IQ compared to most other Marines, but hey, I'm not special in any means. The only thing that I think I did good is that I never gave up. There are so many times when I could have just thrown in the towel and been like, screw this, I'm done. I'm tired of getting my dreams crushed because things aren't working out the way I thought they were going to work out. But I had to just keep pivoting. Okay, this didn't work. I understand why that didn't work. And then I had to pivot somewhere else, right? Until I found this amazing community. And from there, I've literally been able to grow and to kind of maintain. Now, am I thriving yet? No, I am currently not. Okay, we're at a level where we're not surviving, we're not just scraping by, but we're maintaining, right? We're maintaining and we're growing something. We're actively growing something. And why? Because we need to keep growing it so that eventually we can start thriving. And so that is what, I'm excited about, going into the future. But also, a big accomplishment is that I get to be an active parent into my kids' lives. And what that means is that now I can actually choose when I want to be there, and I can prioritize their lives into mine. Why? Because I don't have to ask permission from my boss to be able to go do something. I can just schedule it in and make sure that I'm doing things to be an active parent in their life, which is very cool. And I'm super stoked about that. So the biggest thing that has changed from the time, when I first got started is that I initially wanted to start a business and start this business because I was tired of leaving my family every day and not having control of my time or the amount of money that was coming in. But now, since, I've been able to do all of that and start something and create something, we've started reviving our lives, right? We've started a spark that is literally igniting so much other areas of our life that we didn't think was going to be possible at the beginning. And so now it has inspired us to bring other people alongside of myself and my wife, in this journey. And the reason why is because it's one thing to have my life revived, but it's another thing to watch and help other people's lives get revived as well. Why? Because it's cool. It's cool to watch. Is it easy? No, it's hard. It's challenging. There's a lot of things that we will have to give to help other people revive in certain areas, but it's something we're willing to do because we've seen the impacts that it's had on our lives. And if we could help out 10 families every single month, that would be amazing, because then not only will that help their families out, but it will help everyone around them as well. And so that is our goal. That is the thing that has been inspired in my life and my wife's life. And the reason why it's ignited the Revival Couple is because we want a movement. We want something that is going to allow other people to come alongside and to be excited and be like, yes, I am down. I'm willing to have this process of revival start in my life. So we are literally dedicated to bringing in 100 new families this year and coach them into starting something for themselves. Now, there's multiple different things that you could start, but that's something we want to be able to help other people with. And I think it's amazing because we actually get to see their lives change as our life changes as well. And we're going to be teaching them how to create a real sustainable long-term business, which is so hard to find nowadays in the online space. Literally all you see is people saying, oh, come join my thing and you will grow your $1,000 into $5,000 real quick, right? This is going to be a long-term journey, a long-term adventure that I am super excited about, and I am super excited about taking you guys on this journey with me. That's why I think revival is so important. That's why revival matters. Revival matters because it takes you out of this place where you're just scraping by. It takes you past this place where you are literally just maintaining, and it brings you to a place where you are thriving in every single area. You're super excited and you're super stoked about your future. You're not thinking about the past where the good old days were, you're like, oh my goodness, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when all that stuff happened, those were the good old days. No, now you're like, right now, I am excited to be alive. I'm excited to progress forward. I'm excited to do things where, I before was not excited about doing anything. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked this podcast episode, definitely share it to someone else because they may find value from it as well. As always, guys, when you share it, it makes me smile like I am right now. But let's go out there. Let's revive our lives together. Let's get it done. And until the next podcast episode, have a good one.